Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to Talking Shit. It's your boy Sophisticated Jerk, Stan, aka Mustard, and Wally up in the building.
Yeah.
Man, today is gonna be a sad episode, man. We got your boy back on here, Anthony Edwards. So my man, stay in the headlines, man. My man, infamous with the kids. Definitely cooking up the NBA, man. Definitely one of the I say most solid talents in the NBA now. Definitely up and coming star. He's definitely gonna cash out, but
As an
just
NBA player or as a breeder? Because
well,
This
as
guy
both.
a,
Shit.
here,
What was that, Wally?
I'm talking about Stan. I was like, this guy right here,
he's a breeder, just breeding out kids left and right.
we
And
all are
like
breeders. We bring a lot of things into existence.
my kids are still
Mm,
liquid. My kids are still liquid, so I'm not even trying to like take
Hey,
child
notice
support
what I
like
said.
crack.
I said we breeding in multiple ways. We ain't just bringing that. We bringing demons out here too.
but I mean, I was looking up some of his background because I'm like, I know we was like probably about a year ago, man. He had some kids, so man, he's within a 2 year span, 4 kids by 4 different women. Yeah, my man trying to give Nick
Like right now,
Cannon and what was
right?
that?
He's up to 10 right now.
Who?
Anthony Edwards,
No, I think it's only 4.
still 4. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean that's a lot. But it seemed like he ain't done. He only 23. I'm like, God damn.
Boy.
So the newest story that we're gonna cover today, though, man, it's I think with his baby's mom, Aisha Howard, Anthony Edwards offered her like a lump sum payment of $1 million. Over the 18 year span. Was like, look, let me just give this money up front. Here you go. That pays out all the child support, and I think she accepted that offer and stuff. So I'm gonna play this clip, but I definitely got some questions because my question mainly I'm gonna ask you guys is like, y'all think that's smart or do you think it's kind of dumb? So let me play the clip real quick and then we'll jump into it. And I also got her responding to it because I guess people were kind of cooking her like she's a gold digger and stuff. So I think she had a response. So, but all right, let me go ahead.
NBA star Anthony Edwards just made headlines, not for his game, but for how he handled child support. His ex, Aisha Howard, who also shares a child with rapper Lil Baby, clapped back at critics calling her a
Real quick, is she thick? She was with a little baby too. I don't understand why these dudes, man, be
sharing the same.
I know, man. They don't understand how big this world is. Like, man, y'all gotta be like, you wife, you knocking up leftovers like that.
That's what makes no sense. Like, shoot, you already got track record with someone. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. You went with that? Okay, cool. Bye.
And she would have, cause he a gangster rapper, ain't he? Like Lil Baby. So it's like
Gangster
you already
rapper,
know, like she ain't her mindset a little bit off. It's not like she was with an R&B star or some shit, a soccer player. She with a trap rapper. Like, oh hell nah. That my man had this was running through that. So that's what you attaching your legacy to, these type of women. Damn, these NBA players, boy.
Hey, that's what happens when the box is delicioso.
Yeah, she thick though. Yeah, so my man was like, look, Skeet. He's like, I love you. Take that. Yeah, my man was like,
Oh,
It
but
feels
let me
so
get back
good
to
here. It's hot and warm, toasty. It was like
yeah,
home.
she got him. But all right, let me get back to the clip and then we gonna break it down.
gold digger. In a fiery Instagram live, she hit back, saying,
I compared the men that you have children with to the men that I have children with. And I said, you were digging for poverty.
Meanwhile,
That's some gold digger shit. And these dudes be thinking they be having game, man. And she's just hitting the live like that. So she just her mind, like I said, man, her mind must be warped. And she's like damn near bragging about like
almost
having
4.
babies with these caliber dudes, and they just sitting there cheesing.
She's
I mean, at
almost.
this point, what more is there can she do? I mean, because think about it.
Mhm.
Pinnacle of where she is and who she is.
Yes.
She's literally at the pinnacle. So in this mindset, yes, she's there. She's
got
the tier.
Oh, one more baby daddy to go or two more to go.
You said she
Yeah.
going all the way cash out. She mess around, get $1 million from. Well, the first guy's probably little baby's probably making payments. He done gave her a cash out. So like you said, she get 2 more, man, and she set for life. Like,
Mhm.
but you are Wally. Like at the end of the day, like don't get me wrong, this is some bum bitch shit. But she definitely on the horror Olympics, she's got gold.
That's
Like,
what it is. It's like, I mean, I ain't trying to celebrate it or champion it, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
she's up there.
Yeah,
as far
yeah.
as the lane of how these dudes are moving, operating, she's up
and
there.
I do respect her gangster a little bit because she threw a shot at all these other chicks. She was like, "Man, I'm rich. Y'all out here messing with IHOP workers."
Being
She's like, "Shit, y'all better step y'all game up. Y'all talking shit." She's like,
Mhm.
You know they
"I
ain't
got a
messing,
lavish life."
they ain't messing with IHOP workers. We know what they messing with. He's still taking the bus selling drugs, but
But she do got a point. She threw that shot at the sisterhood. Sisterhood, don't be trying to, typically they be watching us, be pissed off. Y'all better get at her. Cause she throwing shots at y'all. She said, y'all living this meager life and shit. She said, hey,
I thought like it was about the kids. Like,
nah, fuck the kids. She said, hey,
oh
Shit.
she gonna mess around. She get 1 more million. She gonna dip them little motherfuckers in platinum.
oh my Wally,
Wear
I
them
need
like they
you
a
to
little
send me
chain and stuff.
Wally, I need you to send me some Florida water so I can get rid of these curses on me. 'Cause this, this segment
Get the
needs
beach ball.
blood.
This had a.
Some beach ball. Oh Lord have mercy.
I told you, man. Kids is the newest commodity, man. Like,
But it's always been the commodity. That's the thing. Is like nowadays, this is what it's all been used for. And the thing is, will the kids see it? Because I say this. I know we haven't got to the question yet, but I'm telling you right now. The question on the table, was this a smart move? You're damn right it was a smart move. Because now everything's on her table. Because now them kids don't get a financial, like, if they're not set up, it's all her. It's all her because he put it all in front.
I'm gonna come back to that. That's a good. But let me go ahead and play this.
Court records reveal Edwards wasn't seeking custody or visitation for their daughter, Aubrey. The only issue? Money. And he handled it in a way no one expected. Instead of monthly payments, sources claim Edwards allegedly dropped the full $1.08 million child support upfront, covering 18 years at once. This move is nearly unheard of. Some say it's a smart way to avoid long-term legal drama. Others believe it means he's completely cutting ties. Athletes paying child support is nothing new, but paying it all at once? That's next level. What do you think? Is this a power move or a cold goodbye? Let us know in the comments. NBA.
You just had to. Because think about it,
Shout
just
out
like
to
they said, right? The drama factor. You don't want to add to the drama and the messy part because you can't derail that. The money's already been paid. You can't dramatize me into your bullshit. Done. Put that to the side. That's kicked off. Now what you got to say? Nothing. Because you can't say nothing else.
Yeah.
What's this?
This is her response. Let me play this real quick.
Oh.
Hey guys, so let this count as a wellness check and the dead of fake news.
A wellness check. Fake news.
I get so many messages from you girls that are like, Aisha, we're just making sure your mental health is okay because of all the nasty, nasty comments. And it's like, guys, I don't pay attention to it.
Hold on, let me read this real quick. So this post says Anthony Edwards really told the judge he wanted to pay the whole 18 years of child support up front. Is absolutely insane. He has that girl, oh my FG, like the whole 18 years in one payment. He wants that to be over with immediately. So somebody must be clapping back at her. So I think that's why she posted that, and then she had a clip in the other one. So yeah, get back. Do y'all think that's a smart move that he paid it out front?
Hell yes.
This is not the first time this has happened. If I remember correctly, Eddie Murphy did this with Scary Spice's daughter. He wanted to do with her.
I think it's a Scary Spice.
Yeah.
What was her name? Like Mel B or something?
The black girl from the Spice Girls. But he did allow her to meet the family, so meet the siblings and stuff like that. But he didn't want anything to do with her. And if anybody thinks she's getting all that lump sum at once, the way it was been explained to us, allegedly, the state would debit it up and send it to her every month.
Yeah, so
it's almost, yeah. So she don't have access to all the money.
Right.
So the only thing. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say even then that means the state is even holding her accountable. So
yes,
first time.
I don't know in this case. I think maybe they did an external agreement outside of the state.
The state, because this child support went through court. So, and also she did something. She went to California to have the baby in hopes of, getting more money.
Oh, so, she was trying to maximize the profit. She was like, "Look, shit, let me cross these state lines. What's the?"
So we're back to Georgia. So, when we say things are for the kids, I really we have to look at this and just say, man, this is child abuse, because the kids are just pawns to get access to a man's money. And then I don't even know what happened to the other kids who grew up like this, and what happened to them once they turned 18 or 21. Like, were there any money for them when they become adults? Because when you're saying, well, it costs this child this amount of money, and before anybody come in here like, well, yeah, I ain't got that type of money anyway. I've seen other men who have gone, they're still paying the wazoo and living in their cars, paying child support. So it doesn't matter if the man making this type of money or any other money, you still gonna come for the money. So let's not play the games, let's not play semantics. You still gonna come for the money. And that to me is also cruel, because there's men out here who's paying so much and they have nothing, and it doesn't make any sense because he has to go to work. He got to eat. It's like you having a freaking farm, and it's like the Animal Farm, the book. You putting them all to work, you making profit, but he ain't got nothing to eat. So how you gonna, you know what I'm saying? You can't do that. Somebody got a place to live. He got to live too.
Hey, Stan, but that's the price, right? The men chose to be servants, and they became servants after they gave away their kids, and now they get whippings every day and day.
But I'll say this: he is a young man, a younger dude, and we've seen so many younger dudes fall for these older women because she's 38. And this is the first time you've seen somebody like F that I'll pay all up front and I want nothing to do with either one of you. I think this is going to catch on to a lot of people. And I know a lot of times you see clips well, he doesn't take care of his kids. Well, he already got kids he take care of. This is one he didn't want. And you can't force him to want a kid that he didn't want. And especially when he gave you $100,000, allegedly, to go ahead and terminate the pregnancy, and you didn't. So you're going to do what you want to do. You're going to tie it in to this man's legacy any way you can. And that's the sad part about it. Ladies, everybody could see it. You only getting pregnant by men that have stuff that you could benefit from without you actually earning it or working for it.
I gotta blame him, because my thing is, man, if you know you don't want to have a kid, it's just man, you gotta move cautious, because like you was kind of mentioning, Stan, it's people gonna say oh, y'all don't have to. Man, there's a lot of guys that ain't in this shit that have way more money than him. So it's just is this what you want to be spending your money on? So yeah, you might have a lot, but it's just man, what happened if something happens? You gotta look back and then see how much money you have to kick out to, a chick like this that got 2 brain cells, because
I don't know if she got 2. She got a lot because she planned it.
But I mean, it's not even like a sophisticated plan or anything like that. It's just like, man, she looked good and she finds suckers that she could trap, man. So it's not even like a in-depth plan. She just used the basic tactic on weak men, honestly. But the thing where like a lot of these dudes, like even though he paid that money up front, it's just like, man, now you're gonna have a kid raised by somebody like that, and it's still attached to you, man. That's still your kid. So
Mm.
just attach 100% from that kid, man, that kind of says something about you. Cause say like if she's messing with people like the little baby and all those dudes that's coming around your kid, and this is the shit people don't think about. That's why I was like, man, I could never have no kid with no female like this. Cause it's just like all those dudes that's gonna be in and out, then that kid's gonna go up, be bitter. So, when they start hitting a certain age, Dr. Umar's daughter coming out like, man, he ain't shit. So this, he could be trying to like build up his brand, his image. Now she's gonna possibly come back and, be like, man, my dad ain't shit. She might be a little justified for that. So I get it. It's like it's a good tactic as far as like, man, let me give this to the mom to get her out the hair. But I do think like if Anthony Edwards, he should put some money away in like a trust or something for the kids. So when they get age, because like you said, the mom ain't putting shit away for the kid. That's her chill back and
Now, should he be responsible for that? Because we all know child support gets kickback from like the interest from child support itself. Should they be responsible for putting stuff in their trust? Because again, if we say stuff is for the kids, I have to look at it like, yo, do you guys actually calculate like this child going to need to go to college or have a chance to go to college, and how much
I
of
mean, the
that?
state ain't gonna get that deep in it. They're just like, here's y'all payments, man. Hope it's
But
on
that's
you to
see, that's
be
the whole point.
have the integrity for your child. But I'm just saying, like, if I was in Anthony Edwards, it's like I don't have to do it, but just to let the kid know, like, hey, man, I gave your mom a payout. She didn't do what's up. I still got you covered, because
But SJ, the state here's the part of it, right? The state when they had not even the state, federally they gone to something where like kids who've been in the not just podcasts, YouTube videos and the family shows and everything else, you have to put a set income or a trust and set it aside for that child because that child technically is working, and then that child have access to the funds when they turn 18. And that's what I'm saying. Like when we look at stuff like this, right? This child life is like you're going to be known as the child that your father did not want, that your father, you know, really, and you've been on the news, like it's forever. So I'm wondering, like with these high profile cases, do we now have to look at, the child support and like, yo, like is money put aside for these children because they've been pawns to these parents going back and forth, because it's really not about the child, because we all know you don't need $1 million a month to take care of a kid. Like it's ridiculous. And you look at all these courts and what's going on is to cause damage to the father. So I'm wondering, like, at this point, we really have to look at it and like, yo, yes, he did this, but now on her end and also on the state end, you do have this money. We know what you do with child support. We do know that you guys get a kickback from interest. What are you going to do for this child? Because the father already did his part. He's done.
So, Stan,
yeah,
let me come into the back end on you, right? So to that idea, right? I would say this, right? Because I think this is how it goes, right? Because we can sit here and say, does a kid really needs $1 million? Ultimately, no, give or take. Maybe however you want to pick it, because I forgot how much money it is within the time span from a kid from the time they're babies to then being 18. I don't know how much money that is. I think it's like what, 300K or so, maybe 400K at this time, right? So that's more than enough. But then of course people will say, well, wait a minute, pause. Where does the child live? With the mother. What did the mother do for work? Nothing. So how is the child staying under a roof? How does the child have a roof over their head, right? So of course, rent. Then you think about food. Then it's like, okay, now you start really improvising that, and this is how the mother stays, quote unquote, scotch free, because of course, when you start to think about that, well, you got to cover rent. That's one money. You gotta cover this. That's another money. You gotta cover this. That's another money. So then, of course, because why? Because the child lives there. So technically, the child is covering the rent there. So wherever the mother lives, that's gonna be one thing. So I think that's part of the reason why. So if you were to sit here and say, okay, so technically we could sit here and say $400K alone, maybe even $500K. Give $100K, set that aside, right? If they were to actually do that, she's smart enough, right? $400K for the lifetime of the kid. $100K set aside for her later in life, however it is, however you have to invest it and make that multiply up until it's like multi-millions, whatever it is, put in life insurance, however you want to do it. And then 600, you may as well say is going straight wherever they live into the time being until they keep on, until, whatever, until she's fully 18. That covers the rentals and all that other stuff. That's how mostly you got to have to see that. Right? I mean, at least from my opinion, that's how I'm looking at it right now, because that's how I see it in my head. That's how it's going to go. She lives there. She ain't doing nothing to cover her rent and everything else. Guess who is? The money that she got from the baby. So that's just one thing. But go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, as far as the state, the issue with them getting too far involved is because everybody typically is like, hey, I don't want the state involved like that. So that's why they don't enforce, how the money is split all the way down to the T. Plus, they don't have the resources to do that. So they typically just leave it to the parents, So on his end, it's like, hey, if you attach yourself to somebody like this that's self-centered, then hey, that's your fault. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So I'll even go from this set. So from the extent of what you're saying on his end, like he's pretty much a failure because he didn't want to put no security around the kid, let alone knowing that is attached to you. And I would agree from that standpoint of integrity. Like, yeah, you should be like, hey, even if you don't want to be there, or maybe because you're more focused on basketball, so you're never going to have enough time to be with the kid and you don't want the drama with the mother, however it is, at least, you could have just been like, okay, think about the well-being of your daughter, regardless if you're not there or not, think about the well-being and everything else. But I think also too, we have to also think about this too, right? So let's be honest. Let's say hypothetically the daughter grows up, she's with the mother her whole life, all that stuff. Daddy never plays a part, never be there in birthdays, none of that stuff at all, right? For whatever we know, right? There's still a point. You don't think that the daughter would just grow up and then resent the money anyways and not want to take it?
No, I don't think she has a choice in the money.
But think about it. Imagine if you grew up, you already had a resentment from your father because he didn't want to be in your life, but then he has this money for you. And he made a trust for you. He made this money for you when you grow up, and you're right in the head, and you're able to actually know what you're doing with the money, so you actually can use the money to sustain your life and your family, whatever you want to do with your life afterwards. Even though he wasn't there, he still thought about you. But if you have resentment, you won't think about taking that money. You won't even care to even take. You won't even care to even use it. Like, you would just detach yourself. So my thing is in that forward thinking. Why would Anthony Edwards think that far ahead if you already not even thinking like you're gonna even be in your kid's life in any sort of way? Because think about it, if I'm gonna set up a plan for you, why would I do that? Because I actually want to be connected to you. I actually want to be making sure you're actually good. All I did was just sign a check off and say your mother is you are your mother's problem now.
Yeah, but I just think people, man, you gotta kind of be a heartless person, and it's just like that shit just could come back and bite you, where it's just like, man, I get it. You don't want nothing to do with the mom and stuff, but it's just like, man, that kid's still there. And it, like you said, they're going to be having that bitterness. That shit going to be festering up. Man, this is the social media age. And, he's going to be trying to get Nike deals, man. He's that big of a star in the NBA, where it's just like, man, just have that relationship. You could tone out the mom, but, just do right by the kid. And, even like you said, if they have some resentment and stuff, it's just, man, sometimes you just got to do stuff regardless and be like, look, you don't want the stuff, I still have it there for you situated. It is what it is.
That's for sure. But I think that's why I'm saying, like, but that also goes into the idea of who Anthony Edwards is. Because again, we may think these are all ball stars, but we don't know these dudes for like that, like who they are.
Oh, yeah, no, obviously by how he's maneuvering, he just don't care. But it's like, man, he's still young, and
right.
People grow and they could be like, man, damn, I want to change.
He could wake up tomorrow. Someone may put it in his ear like, hey, look, You ain't gonna ever think about your daughter. You ain't gonna think about it at all. Like eventually, someone could put it in his ear. Like I'm young and stupid now. I realized I made a mistake after realizing, shit. Maybe he may get an epiphany later in life. But
I see something else here. I agree with what everybody's saying. I see something else here because I know that Eddie Murphy have done this with his daughter with Scary Spice or Mel C or Mel B, whatever her name is. But her name is Mel. I'll call it Mel. And that daughter just turned 18 recently, right? Um, and yeah, they're gonna be resentment and everything else, and we don't understand like what's going on, right? But like, there's two things that's going on. Like when the man don't want to have a child with you, and you deal with it, and you do it anyway, right? There's a chance he's gonna deal with you this way, and you can't. He did his financial responsibility. He don't want nothing to do with you and the child. So I remember there's one comedian is like a lot of times you got treated well as a kid depends on the relationship with you, with your mother and your father. Um, and if that relationship is not good, that's why you got treated like crap, right? That's one. And then two, like he did his part, like society wise, it's always been transactional. It's never been about spending time. We can have this moral compass and like, oh, about spend time with your daughter, but I'm like, everything that's been going on as far as getting to know each other, getting to spend time with each other, getting to like having a relationship, everything been monetized. Everything is all about the money, and so this seems like to be like the final cost of a relationship is like, okay, you have this kid, here's your money, get out my life. And if this starts with somebody who's 23, I'm only thinking like, man, this younger generation, this is how they're going to operate. And so you have to figure out like, do you want both and be honest, or because he don't want to co-parent? Because before the craze been co-parent, 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 right? He's like, F all that. I don't want you in my life. And I already got 4 kids with like what, 3 baby mamas? And those are the
Four.
ones I
That's what I'm
want.
saying.
Right?
But
But
it's
those
like
are the ones that he want.
but the issue I have is like, man, I understand people make mistakes, but you're doing a pattern. So it's just like, man, just fucking knock it off, get sterilized then, man. If you don't want the attachment, that's what I'm saying, man. You can't have it both ways. And it's like on one side, he's gonna want a clean image to get these contracts and shit. So it's just like, man, you're creating a mess for yourself where it's gonna spill out. So it's
Do
just
he
like,
want a
man,
clean image though?
huh?
Do he want clean image?
He want that Nike do. They ain't gonna be one of the these brands ain't gonna be wanted to be attached to like this messiness, man. Like,
You know what he reminds me of? He's this generation of a Charles Barkley.
nah, because Charles wasn't out here doing shit this reckless.
Charles was doing some crazy shit. And Charles, I'm not a
Yeah,
hero.
but I mean, four baby moms in 2 years. Like, come on, man. This is some dumb. She was messed with little baby, and that's who you running up at Raw in. Come on, man. Like,
But that's the thing, right? When we look at Drea, we did so many stories, right? You're dealing with someone that's the same age as a mother, or she has a son the same age as you. So you got a stepson that's 22. It's like you can't stop these men from making these mistakes.
man,
I
you
don't
can
mean about
stop it.
mistakes, like these planned pregnancies, or like as I call them, the anchor babies, because it's like, yo, she got a retirement plan, and that's what I'm saying. Like at one point, if it's about these kids, there needs to be protection for these kids because you are going through for the rest of your life known as the child. You're not even a bastard, right? You're worse than that. You're unwanted, um, and unloved for the rest of your life. In every newspaper article, clipping, and everything else. And I'm wondering, like, yo, when we cover this stuff and we know this stuff is happening, we as society, what kind of protections are we putting in for these celebrity kids? Because when they do age out the system, where do they go? Because the mom ain't like doing no investments or anything like that. She's just trying to get another anchor baby so she can have buffers. So what happened to this kid? and when this kid becomes an adult. And that's all I'm just saying, because I'm looking at the standpoint of like, okay, what's going to happen to this child for the future? Because that's the women and that's the father, because they're gonna do anything they want. She's gonna get pregnant again by somebody else, and somebody else is gonna sit down and spray up the club.
Well, I mean, we can't put it on society. That's the where I mean, man, they should just put all the penalty on the parents, because it's just like, man, it ain't for society. Everybody in society got their own problems to deal with, so everybody's just going through the motions, man. You
Yeah, but
know,
yeah,
Society did step in, because before there was never child support. Before, people were not going to court. Before, you was left alone with a child and had to figure it out, and that child would be adopted by a cousin somewhere in the south and be passed along as like, this is your child now. I mean, that's what we did before. So society already did so much already. I don't trust the parents. F the parents. I do have to look at
but I mean,
society.
that's where they need to be like, you know what, we're gonna tax y'all both. You know, we're gonna hit y'all both with like child support, and like you were saying before, what they should do is make them both pay, and we're gonna put that money into an account for the
Yeah.
kid. You know, so put some penalty and some pain on both sides, because I mean, child support. The government had to step in to a certain point, because it's just like people will go and need resources, and people got a little more distance as far as the family couldn't step in like that. So when they had to come in, they're gonna come in kind of dictating shit, and that's the issue. So they came in for a reason. They came in because the system was functional and great. So that's why they had to kind of step into that lane. But nah, I think yeah, like you said, they should put penalty on both sides, because make it where it's all about the kid. Like, hey, you get enough to, like Wally was kind of saying earlier, like, okay, rent in a pretty decent area is 2,000. So if he gives you $1 million, you know what? We're gonna make sure we pay the bills so the kid can stay somewhere if he don't want no custody and stuff like that. But other than that, that money's going in an account. We're gonna hit him with even more money. He's like, nah, you ain't gonna do no cute stuff. So all that other money is all going to the kid. Like, so I'm with you on that. That's how they should do it. And the mom has to pay some shit too. Like, you gotta have a job. You gonna be contributing to this too. I
Yeah.
guarantee if both people had to like end up paying into that pot for the kid, like, you know what, since y'all doing this stuff and y'all ruining kids, everybody be thinking about it differently. Cause now it would be about like, oh, you get this cash out, you have a kid, like you said. People got to look at it like, damn, boy, I might have to pay. We both got to pay child support, going into the kids' trust, because, that money been going to therapy, they ruining their lives. So it's like, yeah, people look at it differently when you put the onus on both sides. You don't let
Yeah,
it be a
because I think
cash
like
out.
the onus on the men, and like ladies are not against you or anything like that. It's just that well, look at even for regular men too, like have their checks completely taken out, right? If this is the only source of income, it does not make any sense to have that man to have zero capital to pay for his own rent, pay for the gas, go to work, and, to pay for his own livelihood. You do have to be fair and understanding, and this is the part where the government got to be like, "Yo, you just can't go in and just be happy about tearing down the person that's providing you child support." It becomes like kind of redundant, and you're really not caring about that kid. Now it's about you getting the payback, and it's not about that. It's like, yo, like this is a kid, and kids now, like, yo, it's not till they're 18. You gotta look at it till they hit 24, because you want them to be stable, go to college and finish up and get a job and be productive members of society. It's not about you making this about chess and use them as pawns to go hurt another human being. We have to get away from that.
but see, that's the thing, though, Stan. Women
What's
are
that?
emotional creatures. What do you expect from them? Like the revenge is always the card that they go for.
All
He
the
hurt me,
time.
Stan. He used me. He didn't love me. I'm sorry,
But
But what
let's just
love
be
got to
honest.
do
Like,
with it,
this
Wally?
is
What
what it
love got to
always
do with
goes
it?
down toward. It always goes down towards this. It's never a clear mind consumption of let's focus on the kid. It's never clear mind. It's never.
but
Never
see what
ever.
I was gonna say, because going to what you were saying, Stan, I think what they should do is just like, say, like, if people were in a relationship, they split apart, it should be like, look, man, y'all, the government's just gonna do a default 50-50 custody arrangement. Y'all both, there's no money involved. Y'all got to figure it out. You know, in that case, then it's like, hey, if one of y'all leave because you want to go do something else and you don't want to stay in that area and like help raise that kid, then you got to contribute a little bit more. So they should put the penalty where it's just like there ain't no gain in it. It's just like y'all got to do what's best for this kid. Y'all both gonna be in this area. Figure that situation out. And then I think if they took those stances where everybody, people would look at this stuff totally differently instead of trying to weaponize it. So take it where it's not weaponized. It's like, nah, both of y'all gonna pay, or both of y'all gonna have this arrangement and do what's best for the kid.
Yeah. And also, I was just wondering, like, man, like, this might be an idea for somebody else, but we should get our percentage of this. When somebody do a documentary on kids who were anchor babies, they were anchored to the man's wealth. And, like, what happened to them when they grew up, knowing that their mother only made them for, they're only here because they wanted something. And I'll tell you something, like a little insight for me. I remember one of my grandmothers told me, like, she never loved my grandfather. Like, she just needed land.
Mm.
And that's why one of my parents was born. She's like, I never loved that man. I just need some land.
Nah, don't get me wrong, man. There's some bad people like that, but man, that's why I put some of the onus back on the men, because
you know what the women yesterday said? They said that if they had it their way, they wouldn't have dealt with the men that they dealt with. They would have been single mostly. So think about that. If back in the days, that's what their idea was. We were stuck here. We were here for survival.
yeah,
That was
convenience,
the only reason.
necessity and shit.
So think about that. That means you never loved them in the first place. So why do we need to trust you now? Why do we need to trust anybody now?
But it kind of lands back on the men. That's why, because that's why I'll be telling dudes about the 50-50.
No, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, but that's my whole point. Look, I'm not even talking about current day or even early 2000s. I'm talking about way back. We talking about way back.
And for anybody trying to
even
come,
then,
it's like 100 years ago. It's 100 years ago.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so crazy to hear, because you're trying to tell me you don't get it for survival. What?
Nah,
Yeah.
man.
I'm going to trust you now.
And she was like, there's no welfare here. What you talking about? They only could give you a plot of land and some chickens and some goats and some pigs. You could build from there. Like,
But I mean, other than that, I'm gonna let that go. Other than that, but this is why I said, like, earlier, like, why I would say, like, in some formalities, why is it a smart move for him? Even though technically, I mean, you actually worked it down to the point I say it is not ultimately, as far as like integrity wise, it's not. But why is a smart move as far as just looking at it between them two? Because now she literally has to be on it. She has to be on one as a mother to mandate all that money. Because if she don't, and that kid grows up like.
but she probably not doing the same thing for the baby, right? The baby's baby. What's his real name? Because y'all can't be grown ass men
just
calling
call the
yourselves
baby.
Little baby. But
with the baby.
Like, don't get me wrong, I get all that, right? Don't get me wrong, I get all that, but it's like these patterns, like, again, these dudes, like, just like what Jerry said, this dude, Anthony Edwards, chose to follow a trend of pattern. He dates one girl who Chief Keef's ex. Now you date another girl who Lil Baby's ex, and then you dated two other girls that were just probably some Instagram models or whatever, off of some fly shit. Like, that's just where it's at as far as his mentality. But
see that's my thing. Where I think if they create a pattern, they should get penalized more. It's like, all right, that's what I'm saying. They should turn the system into like.
I mean, look, don't get me wrong. That's true. But I think that's where you have to sit there, because it's like, but you're part of the pattern. Like, think about it. You're a part of the pattern. Like, he ducks off and go freaks Chief Keef's girl, and he does what? And they're not even in a relationship. Now he's freaking you, and you taking his baby, and you think he's gonna be there. What makes you think that was gonna be the case?
Yeah.
What did he told you to ensure you he's gonna be here forever? Nothing.
No, that's why I said make them both pay, man. Because it's literally just ignorance at a certain point. Because it's like she has a pattern, he has a pattern, but it's just like the way it's formed now. It's just like the dude, especially since he has the money, he's gonna kick out. So it's just like I don't understand why they keep doing this shit, knowing that somebody like that is gonna keep the kid because they know they're gonna cash out. So that's why I'm just saying, guys got to just be more protective because it's like, man, you in those situations, if you know you don't want to like have kids with certain type women, man,
Okay, now
you
here's
just
the
got.
And I think that's
no,
the
no,
thing.
but here's the thing, Rack. I don't want to lose my thought on this because I
Go
forgot
ahead.
to say this 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because like now on the man's end, right, and you're in sports, should I know I mentioned this several times before? Should the NBA, NFL, all the leagues have a morality clause? Because it's getting like to the point of we're not even watching this for the sports anymore. We're watching it for the drama, and it's like, yo, like
Hold on, break down. What do you mean by morality clause? Like, you step over this, we could get rid of you out of the league. We're just,
yes, because like
regardless
you're
how
gonna
good
have
you are.
yeah,
Honestly, I
because
wouldn't be
now
mad at it. I because like you said, it's getting to the point where it's just like, damn, we discussing your personal problems more than the game. So yeah, nah, get the hell out of here. We ain't with this baby mama shit.
because before it was like as much as like effing that Magic Johnson did. I mean, I don't think he made kids outside of that marriage, right? And it's like, there was like, I don't know, like, I don't want to control a human being because that's a lot, but like at this point, when we're looking at every athlete, you know, doing all warmongering stuff and barbaric stuff, and at the same time, we want them to act as though they're like regular human beings and upright people, and I'm like, okay, this does not make any sense. Do we need a morality clause in the leagues, all of them? Because like, yo, this is gonna cost you money having kids outside of marriage. This is gonna cost because doesn't the military does that or it doesn't?
I mean, you can't have an affair if you're married and shit. So
Mm.
I, I'll say go halfway. Like if you have a kid by a female that slept with somebody like Lil Baby, Future, then we'll throw you out the league for like violation of like they'll get us some code like 77-225-6. Simping simping with money, direct violation of that. So yeah, if you break that code and you have a kid by like a chick that was dating Nick Cannon, Future, or you just automatically out the league. It's like we're done with you. Brittany Renner, you get one of them type of chicks pregnant, this is like, look, man, you're done in here. You done took the training. They should have like a rigorous training. Like, look, you got to go through this program, and once you sign off, you get one of these type of chicks pregnant, you got to go.
Yo, you remember like when the NFL had its own reality show, and there was like you
The
can't
Hard
bring.
Knocks.
I think so, and you couldn't bring a girlfriend into camp. And there was that one player, I think Dion Long. Because my uncles would be sending this to me like, don't mess up your life. This is right. Because they'll send me the clips. I'm like, where you find this clip from? I don't want to see this no more. And what happened? He snuck a girlfriend in, and he got cut.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Right,
Yeah.
and this is like he worked his whole life to be part of NFL, promising career and everything else, and he did this one thing, and it's like, wait. I thought like there was no morality in the NFL.
Yeah, they got him up out of there. They were like, it's a wrap.
And if you look at his life now, it's all bad, right? And it's like, yo, like if this like what would happen if there's like Nike has morality clause, Adidas, right? Like you're gonna have to because like everything now has become like everybody's a Kardashian. And it's like the men are Kardashians now. You're having all these kids and it's about you and your affairs, and then your ex-girlfriends get together on Basketball Wives, and it's like, yo, it's not about the game anymore.
I mean, it's funny, Stan. I like how you did that analogy. Basketball players are now the Kardashians, and guess what?
What's that?
In Hollywood, guess what? They always tend to win. Just like these dudes, they're gonna look. You think the league gives a rat's ass about some morality? Look, did you hurt somebody? Did you kill somebody? Did you put someone in the hospital? No? Okay. Well, hey, let's see. Life goes on. You think they give a You think they that morality into case? No. Cause think about
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Wally. Go ahead.
no. Cause I want you to think about this, right?
Yeah.
Let's say they did follow your idea, they put a morality clause, right? If you do this, you're cut. You really think they're gonna do that? You think about this. They are assets to why their TV sales keep being up there. You think they're gonna really do that?
Well, SJ just did a report a couple of weeks ago about how the viewership of the
Oh no,
NBA.
I know yeah, I get that. Like the viewership naturally has tanked. But let's be honest, I'm saying as long as the league is on a high, because like let's be honest, after the trade deadline, the ratings were up. I would believe they were because the trade was just crazy. Luka, the Lakers, no one didn't see that happening. No one didn't see that ish happening. I damn sure didn't.
But Wally, when you look at like now the college, there's a lot of colleges right now, they can't even sponsor the sports program with the cuts to education and funding, and so there's a lot of sports program being cut. And also, look who we have for president. I really think
But
it could
I
happen because like this is for the new players coming in. They
but
can
think
age out. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'll say this. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was
No, I
just
was
saying they
gonna
could
say,
age
look, real.
old
Oh,
guys. They could just age them out because everybody know what NFL stands for. Not for long. That's what NFL stands for. Not for long. NBA is a little bit harder, right? But they can age out the older guys. These newer guys. They can really be more strict because if I'm looking at it this way now, there's a lot of colleges and universities. They're not going to have D1 sports and everything else, and then it's going to be harder for you to get into the leagues now, and finding a school to get you there. They can do anything they want because if, like, you know what I'm saying, so now they can actually implement stuff that can control it and make it more about the game. Because if I'm, oh, go ahead, I'm done. Go ahead.
Let me just put a little tie in for you. In this day and age, more ball players, they're moving different. They don't even give a rat's ass for the NCAA. Why did men NCAA tank the years before and the female NCAA was up? Because most of the dudes neither went straight to the G League or went overseas. That none of them don't give a rat's. Like, bro, at this point, the outdoor path of saying screw the NCAA and going straight neither to the G League or going to the outside or go play ball is starting to be the wave now. So when you start making that the wave, no one don't care for NCAA. So of course they're losing traction because you can't bring the ball players there no more. They're like, screw this.
I think that, but I do think the NBA could get away with a more moral clause because you could afford to lose a couple people, man. Because like basketball is on a global scale, where it's like, man, you're not gonna lack for talent. So if if they lost to Anthony Edwards, it would send a message that we about that skill, man, and this is a business. You put that first, because I think a lot of them, man, even though I think even though they got the talent and stuff, man, they're so distracted now. Where at least before, don't get me wrong, it's not like they were saints, but man, they put the game first. Training, man. You see these cats now, man. They got like bear guts, James Harden and shit. Luka. You know what I'm saying? You ain't see the superstars like that. You know, man, Kobe and them was like training like a motherfucker. So yeah, man, we got a morality clause. You distracted, you getting the fuck up out of here, man. Like,
but that's the thing though. It's like if you change it now, you make a morality clause. I mean, at this point, it's tough because I can say this, right?
Yeah.
Let's say Nike put a morality clause. Adidas, every other shoe sign, Gatorade, whoever they're signed with, the NBA, right?
Yeah.
I can see that all work, but at the end of the day, it becomes trinkle because, like, okay, I'm cutting this ball player off because this guy want to screw up. Throw that away. Throw all the credit scenes, all of that. Just smash it all to the dirt. This one fucked around. This one messed around. This one messed around. This one messed around. To the point you really don't got no one else. Oh, what are we gonna see on TV all the time? LeBron? Is that what you really want to see? Like,
everybody will fall in line.
You want people to play because here's something, right?
No,
we always had internet, right? We always had internet. We always had it, right? We just didn't have the drama. Shaq, right. Kobe, Jordan, Pippen. I mean, Pippen was like the closest drama you're gonna get because Pippen was doing everything. Pippen was getting pimped by Madonna and Carmen Electra. and anybody else who lipstick in a dildo. So he was good to go.
Bro,
What do you mean, Rodman?
yo, wait a
I mean,
minute.
that's what he was. Like,
You talking
look,
about Rodman?
huh?
You talking about Dennis Rodman? You mean?
Dennis Rodman, my bad. I'm not pimping.
Oh,
My
God, I was
bad.
about to say, like, what?
No. Dennis Rodman was getting. I meant Dennis Rodman was getting pimped. Like he was always getting pimped and pimped out by.
Wait a minute.
So Dennis Rodman was the one. Like if you got lipstick and a dildo, he was good to go, right? So, but the fact is, right? But the fact is, like everybody has a morality clause. Every one of us, like I can't go out to a coffee shop and treat somebody poorly and like somebody videotape me and post it, my job will go ahead and fire me because
Yeah.
the standard that I live by doesn't match the policy or whatever of the company. So like, yo, like it has to get to that point now because this just is crazy because I've never. And then I'm not a moral person. Like I believe sin, everybody makes mistake, right? But to
Yeah.
the point now where I can't tell the difference between you and Basketball Wives or the Housewives of Atlanta. Like we have gotten to that point where the sports people are like making babies with adult material actors. And it's like there's nothing wrong with that. But then you have kids looking into this. Like when we gonna go ahead and just call it off? Like, yo, it's
So
like it's not working. And also the games are boring now.
Hey, real
Who
quick,
playing?
but
the
why?
highest annual NBA contract is like Jason Tatum with 62 million.
Mhm.
Man, when you paying that type of money and you ain't focused with that, like these cats, like I said, man.
Yeah, but
They
it's
only
different for
playing
Jason
25
Tatum.
games.
He already got a supermodel girlfriend, and his mom is taking that money and putting it in the bank. Like,
But see that, hey, but
we got
I
people
guarantee you
over
cut a
him.
couple, everybody gonna fall in line because man, when you making when you looking at that type of
But
bread,
that's
like
the thing, though. It's not really just the fact of people falling in line. It's the simple fact of you have to understand who are you really dealing with? Who are you employing into this thing? So, like, at the end of the day, I'm gonna be honest. Think about this. We want to talk about a minority clause. The minority, the clause would come into play, right? Think about it.
Can't say it, huh?
I know, right? It just come into my mouth.
Because
But
you
when you think
immoral,
about it,
huh?
right? Where does the clause really come in? Abuse? You did something crazy-ish? That's when they start to really hit you and get you gout.
Oh
When
no,
you do all that
it's
high
like
stuff.
this. Your lifestyle does not align with the vision that we have for this
Yeah.
organization.
Right. No,
It's not the first time
you
this
out here knocking
Oh,
up
yeah, but
dots.
I'm talking-
They should
but
make me in charge of the decision making. Be like, oh hell no, you little
Right.
baby, she was with her. Get this motherfucker out the league.
But that's the thing, though. But see, that's my whole thing. It's like, think of it like this, right? John Morant. The Grizzlies didn't think a fly like John Morant over here having guns. He over there doing this, and they're
Get
looking
him
like,
out of here.
what's the problem? Huh?
But understand,
He's out
like,
here selling gang violence. He's out here doing this. He's throwing up hand signs.
He would have been gone. I'm like, get this little nigga
That-
out of here with bad braids.
The
Get him
owners
up out of
themselves have
here.
no morality. So how can you expect the league to have it when they don't have it? That's the
but
thing.
that's what I'm saying. Like, but now we put the onus on the men, right? If you
Mhm.
put the onus on the men, because the men do have a lot. I can't put the onus on the women because they're trying to achieve their goals of getting gold, right?
Oh yeah,
And
but
it's
that's
crazy, right?
about them. It's
But
really
here's the part that's crazy about this. You notice none of them really go after like baseball players and soccer players because they make the most money. And I'm wondering what's going on in those leagues that these gold diggers are not really going over there. Like, what's happening
I'm gonna be honest.
in
How
that
many
league?
stories have you really heard of a soccer player messing around? Like literally, like how much stories have you really heard? Every single time you hear a messy story about a quote unquote ball star, is always a
Yeah.
football player and a basketball player.
Try to tell you, man.
But that's what I'm saying. So I'm wondering what's going on in those leagues where the men have
More
to be
likely,
up and
the
up.
men got integrity. Like, let's just be real. There's a science. So think about how much times have you really heard golfers out here cheating?
My man Tiger had a panel of chicks that.
Tiger.
Okay, Tiger was out here giving out free wood.
But for the most part, yeah, nah, man. Well, like, cause I think NBA, you know, it pulls from like, you know, like you know, it's so tied to like I say hip hop type culture and shit. So I think, man,
but think about think about to the climate. Baseball, we have black people in it. Why are black people not morally into baseball? You pick and choose on that. Why they're not integrating soccer? You pick and choose on that. Why is like so when you start to think about it, every different quote unquote subdivision club, every single club out here that they have, there's always thing. You ain't gonna hear too much about golf because golf is supposed to be what? Sophisticated. Tennis is supposed to be sophisticated. So you can see
think
why
about it, man.
They ain't no brothers in that.
Well, because basketball is one of those, it's a finesse sport, man, where you're playing it, man. It's just like you're in high school, you could hoop, you're good, you're drawing in chicks. So typically, if you playing golf and you're nice in high school, the chicks like, who gives a fuck? Yeah, like you said.
Like,
so
there is a certain there's an aura with it. There's a je ne sais quoi. That's what I'm saying. Like golf and tennis, those are like a higher end type thing. Like there's schools I've been to, there's no tennis in golf. Even though we had tennis courts, there was no tennis team.
Yeah, I believe. I think like because there's gatekeepers in tennis and golf, right? For the women, the gold diggers, like you do have to meet a certain standard to going in. But here's the thing about it, right? When we was coming up, celebrities was always at the front, not IG models. They was always at the front court sitting down, and we've gotten away from that because celebrities don't want to associate themselves with IG models or influencers or whatnot because it's kind of lowbrow for them. I think now we're rewarding so many bad people that even regular people are getting tired of it. So if you want people to be excited and because I think like America, we still believe in the Cinderella story, right? And we still believe in righteousness, and we still believe in
forgiveness.
Oh no, not that stuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
I was about to say something.
Well,
like
you said Cinderella story. That's what it is. Like, are you talking about uplifting the broke bitch?
We both came up from the struggles. We made a beautiful story at the end.
No, but it's the other one too. Like, it's just the fact that the prince comes down, right? Or the princess comes down and meet the common folks, like Taylor Swift and dude from the Chiefs.
Travis Kelce.
Right. So you look at that, right, and it's like there's something like for the Chiefs have a little bit more like it's not ghetto or anything like that. It's a little bit more fanfare, a little bit more like, she's for us the people.
Swifties.
Right? The Swifties is for the people, but that's what I'm saying, like it's gonna come to that point where again people are burned out with this Kardashian stuff. Like you're not happy that you're part of a team, you're complaining, but you're making like 20 million or 2 million, and then there's people out here starving and hungry, and you're always complaining, and then you're making kids with women that you don't want to make kids with, and here she is, she made a baby with you because she don't want to go to work, and she just want to be, you could be a housewife without being the wife, just be a baby mama. Like it's getting to that point where people are just burned out, and it's like when people are burned out and the ticket sales are falling and nobody's watching the game and nobody's getting cable and nobody's going ahead and get these apps and going for subscription services, it's going to drive to that point where like, hey, there's now reality. There's going to be a moral cause here because you're not repping this company and you're making it so much about you and not about people coming to the game, not about people buying tickets, not people going ahead and have, what's that stuff? Tailgate parties and people buying jerseys and buying the balls and, and buying the posters. It's just about you and getting money into your pocket and you just going on reality shows. It's going to come to that point where the league is going to have to control stuff. Just like the record company, right? They have a 360 deal. You no longer make a record. They own everything around you. You go on TV, they get a cut. You go on make an appearance, you get a cut.
But
And I
think
think
about
it's
it.
going to happen for the league because they got to make their money back.
But
I'm
see,
sorry.
that's the thing, Stan. And that's why I keep saying
Mhm.
it's all on the league, and the league are saying we want to bring in trauma bonding motherfuckers. Like, just keep it for what it is. They want these high end. They want these high end messy ass motherfuckers. Because if let's be real, anybody with a brain cell, they looked at the John Moran situation, they probably would have been done with him. They probably been like, I don't want this mess. Next, they probably did that. And I'm not just poking on John Moran, but I'm just saying, when you think about the whole thing and everything, think about this. I forgot bro's name. He used to be the point guard for the Wizards. I forgot. John Paul.
Gilbert Arenas?
No, John Paul.
Oh.
When they found out about him being with the C's, he got dropped. Like, I want y'all to think about that. Like, again, this goes back to the league itself. The league itself don't want to have men with integrity. They don't want that.
I think no, I think they do, man. I just think, man, it's the talent issue.
But
So like the contract sales was, the sales was going so high, but I think recently when what Stan was saying earlier, when the ticket sales dropped, I think a lot of people are getting burnt out because a lot of people, when I threw that video out there, they were like, man, it's just too woke. And then all the drama, and then the players are just, they're making so much money, man. It's almost like they're very talented. They're talented as fuck, but it's just like, you could tell, man, that it's just like basketball is just like almost a career now, where I think back in the day, it was just like, hey, man, I want to be the best.
That's all it is.
So now they're just like, hey, man, it's a job to me. And you could kind of see it. And I think they're going to crack down eventually, because it's just like, man, we're paying outrageous amounts of money.
Right.
Where damn near, I think Jordan in his first like
Jordan
years
Jordan got
is what a
paid.
rookie would get, like his first contract. So
they got paid. But my thing is, the difference between them and these guys is they were about theirs. They're just about theirs differently because they're like, hey, we getting paid and no one ain't stopping us. That's the thing, though.
But but here's the part, right? Like, when you only playing 1/4 of the game schedule and you getting paid all that money, right? And you only showing up, I think was an average of 125 games a year, and you only playing what, 30? Like, yo, there's something wrong with that. Like, I don't want to hear it. Like, you this is what you dream about, this is what you worked on, this is your job. Like, this is it. Like, and anybody, any woman, any child. Like, I remember one point my father, I was just like, man, I hope you stay home. He's like, do you want to be homeless? I need to go to work. Do you like to eat? Do you like milk with your cereal?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, you know what they
There's a
want to fix
reality here, right? Because
they need to put some mobsters in like ownership. Or some gangsters, because like when one of these players be like, man, I'm not gonna play tonight, be like, oh, you're not gonna play, huh?
Yeah, let me whip you up real quick.
Hey, close that door real quick.
Yeah, what you saying?
Shut the doors. Everybody shut the doors.
You thought this was a democracy, huh?
Yeah.
It's gonna be Marvin's Tap. You gonna play it?
Like, hey, go ahead, dim the lights real quick and hit that, close that door real quick. Like, so you don't want to play tonight. You thought you had a choice, right?
Yeah, to get to that point where like you only going to play for games where they're making the most ticket sales, so you can get paid the most.
Yeah,
I've never heard that before. Like, if you see Hulk Hogan and Hulk Hogan is playing at the mall, he's gonna play at the mall, and that's it. At his prime.
But we might have to come back to the NBA breakdown, because I do want to get to the next topic. But just circling back real quick. I was just gonna say, I do think from a financial standpoint, Anthony Edwards, smart move to do the cash out. I think the girl is dumb as hell to take that deal, because I think his next contract, he's probably gonna be one of the highest paid. So I think right now, like Jason Tatum probably had the highest one. Like I said, he's making like $65 million a year. So Anthony Edwards is probably going to be bringing in like $75 million. So typically, like child support, isn't it calculated like 30% of? Shit, she's missing out on some money. So hey, I don't blame him for wrapping that up. Like I said, I still will put money to the side for the kid, but smart move on his part. But her, if I was her lawyer, I'd be like, "Hey, you tripping? Pump your brakes. You hit a cash cow. We milking this." But can she? I think she could file a modification with the state, like if he gets another contract or something. Because I typically think if somebody makes more money, they could do those adjustments.
But he paid it out up front, so I don't think so that they can double back. I mean, that would be crazy if they can double back.
I wouldn't be surprised with these states. That's what I'm saying. He might not be out the woods.
You can't do it because what's her name did it with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
You can.
But what was y'all gonna say? I'm sorry, I cut y'all off, man. I just wanted to.
Yeah. Oh, I was just saying she can do it because Mel did the same thing with Eddie Murphy with their daughter.
Yeah, because when everybody was like, man, he paid it all up front. I'm like, man, I don't think that. I think that's just like what he's making right now. But I think if he goes into another contract, man, she could go back in and be like, hey, he's making more now. And I think that's probably why she signed that one real quick. Like, shit, let me get this quick million. But she could. You think man, a girl with her mindset gonna leave money on the table? Hell nah. She going in there like, hey. Because their contracts be posted all online too, so she be like, "Look, he makes $76 million a year. Go and kick that bread over, Your Honor."
And don't forget, it's called like cost of living adjustment, COLA.
So what's she in the Marines?
You go like, look at all these tariffs. Eggs cost $25 a dozen.
She be like, "Hey, the economy ain't doing anything. Ain't doing that good. Like you said, the tariffs done hit, inflation going up. She gotta have a whole equation up there. She gotta have a whiteboard when she go into court. Like, look,
my
baby cool with this.
She don't get a Hellcat.
Hell yeah. But yeah, he gonna get paid around that 70, 75. She going back. She gonna be in there like, Your Honor, listen. She gonna get another like lump sum.
Oh,
that's some expensive vagina, dog. When you think about it.
But you know what? Go ahead. I'm gonna say go ahead.
Because I'm gonna say, man, just think like you literally got with this chick, put a baby on her. You obviously don't like her, but you have to kick out like $1 million. Probably gonna have to kick out more. Not only that, she's raising a bitter ass child. Like these dudes might need to just shout out to the passport bros, man. They might just need to just be passport bros and get that shit out their system. Like, you know how much damage you could do over there with like $1 million.
But you still gotta pay, SJ, because if you don't pay, you're not gonna get a passport.
Exactly.
You still gotta pay out there.
No, I'm saying before you get into that mess. I'm talking about for the rest of them. It's just like, man, before you want to do this and you messing with chicks that's messing with little baby, and I'm just like, man, just travel, man. Get a passport.
But they leave with their money. It's gonna be a whole nother story. Like they getting kidnapped by the mob, and Lord knows somebody else's country because
that's a good point.
Yeah, boy,
has be in a trunk.
Be working for them, boy. The agent Maz be like, "Hey, you come play for us?"
Yes.
Not facts. Yeah, they might just have to stay in the U.S. and deal with thoughts because. Yeah, they mess around, go to the wrong country, could be in the trunk.
Especially let one of their daughters come out to you like, boy, what? You tie for them forever. You screwed. You screwed.
But I'm just saying, man. You imagine, like, I just couldn't pay out a chick I never wanted to be with, man. I don't give a fuck what type of money I have. $1 million, like.
But it's about the kids, though. It's too late. You gave her Demon D. You sprayed up the club. She went ahead and did her little thing where she can be super fertile. And that baby is an anchor. And now it's like forever in this timeline is a fixed point in time. And you can't do nothing else.
Because like I said, man, even the fact, when you start thinking back at it, like if Anthony Edwards, man, it's like he ain't got no game. He's thinking about it. It's like, man, she was with little baby and I got to give her $1 million. So, she don't really give a damn like who she's interacting with, just long as the dude got some paper. So it's like, man, this is who I am now. I'm a trick. I'm an indirect trick.
May I say this real quick? I know we're going to cover this sooner than later about the list. One of my red flags on the list, if you get pregnant by a rapper, you got to go.
No, facts. That's one of mine, man. if like you on a date, you start talking about past and stuff, and she's like, yeah, when I was with Little Goo Goo or whatever the fuck they be calling these dudes now, like I'm like, what? You was with Future?
Who?
You
I'm
would
like, I'm out. Everybody little these days, little and young. Niggas damn near 50. Still talk about I'm young,
6'5".
whoever.
I'm little Dada. No, you're not.
Yeah, I'm like, ma'am, I'm like, waiter, go and bring that check. I'm like, you have a great life. I'm sorry, the vibe ain't there. But yeah,
gone to Dubai, gone to Miami for spring break. Red flags.
Nah, facts. We gotta break that down. Definitely.
Which one?
Oh, gone to Dubai, red flag. Gone to Miami for spring break, red flag. Girls, red flag. But definitely getting pregnant by a rapper or NBA or NFL player.
You said going on spring vacation at Miami.
Like you're a single mom.
Unless you rapping for Jesus, I ain't fucking with you. Now you was like, hey, I was with the gospel rapper. Hey, he rapped about
don't get married.
That doesn't.
You're his for life. You got pregnant by a gospel rapper. You're his for life. That's what God said. That's fornication. Not messing with you. Go to your husband. Go to your husband. Cause y'all started the family and y'all belong to God. I don't want no part of this. So
they belong to God. They belong to the Antichrist. He's trying.
Not pregnant by a Christian rapper. Oh, good God, no.
Yeah, that'd be the only one I could probably consider.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. If that happens for real, they double back. I'm like, bro, yeah,
man, it's gonna be like Pharaoh and Sarah. No, you belong to him. Oh, don't come here touching me, and I'm gonna have leaves on my body, trying to have me get cursed out by God.
Yeah,
you don't go back to your husband. Nervous, huh? You know what I'm saying? Go back to your husband. Don't be coming to me. Oh, he's a Christian rapper. Bye.
But all right, man, let's go ahead and close this one out. We'll jump into the last one. So, good topic, man. Yeah. Anthony Edwards, man, come on, man. You got to knock it off. You got 4, man. Look, stop. I don't want to see you out here, man. I think that what bothers me the most. It's just like, man, I don't want brothers to be known for this dumb shit, man. These dudes done built their lives up, put that work in. It's like, man, y'all should be investing, cleaning up. I want to see more billionaire dudes, man. So don't be known for this type of shit.
It's too late, sir. It's too late.
Too late.
It's too late.
They invested that culture like no one's business.
Yeah, we like catfish. We belong on everybody's plate.
Damn. Okay, shit. It's a fish fry out here.
That's how everybody treats us. Hey, I had this sister. She got 4 kids. I want you to take her on a date. I don't know you. Doesn't matter. You black.
It's like, man, they keep playing into the stigma. It's just like, man, you got to be aware of the stigma and don't play into that shit, man. Come on, y'all.
They don't care about the stigma. They look at it and be like, shoot.
Nah, they care on the back end. When they like Antoine Walker, like, fuck. Where all my money go?
It's all about them. For the rest of us, people paying the price. We have no standards as black men, and that's what we're known for. We just thirsty for anything.
Me, I ain't out here.
But that's what I'm saying. But like, you look at that brother with Cher. She is 77 years old. What you doing with Cher proposing to her? And that right there. Now
that brother's smart. Stan, stop it.
Yeah,
that brother, he's cashing out. Stan, stop it.
And what he gonna do? Get her pregnant and try to start a
family?
With
he need to knock her up.
Some clone babies. But you're saying that's what I'm saying. Like
this is blasphemy right here, Stan. You tripping? That shout out to the male gold diggers out there
on the West Palm Beach. Every old woman coming at us like, "Come here, young man." So we.
I told you I'm the leader of the male gold digger movement. Stop it, Stan. You went too far with that. Look, Silk ain't cheap, Stan. Silk ain't cheap. That brother, he trying to get a little bit of taste of luxury, and here you are shaming him. Why are you shaming him?
Because they come after us. He started a whole like black people ain't got no standards. Black people ain't got no men.
That's a standard. Because I mean, he's like, look, man. She got a little bit of paper. He's like, look, I like cosmopolitans and lamb.
You know? That's what she's saying. She's saying, don't forget to massage the bunions. That's what she's saying. Don't forget to massage the bunions. SJ, you're not massaging the bunions.
That brother like, look.
Wally, look. He was
He was like, send me that cash app. He was like, hey, share. He's like, share, send me that cash app.
You see, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Don't fuck up that brother's hustle, Stan. Knock it off. Like, there's too many dudes out here that be talking about like, oh man, should be the providers. Men should pay for everything. This dude over here, he's living life.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
that's ambition. That's ambition. When you sit there and you put your desires to the back burner and you're like, look, I need to get this guap. Times is hard out here.
Dear Heavenly Father, where is my rope? Where is my advice?
Stop. Male Gold Digger t-shirts coming soon. Male Gold Digger movement. Please join. I'm gonna have a membership. We taking over. Don't let guys like Stan shame you. Stan out here trying to throw a wrench in the car.
Because I know I cheat. And for who?
Catch me with Cher. Let that brother fuck up. I'll be over there. Y'all be like, what's Jerk doing over there?
Man, I'm about to pass out.